Welcome to another episode of Opinionated EPs. So, on this podcast, we talk about the latest news in the NBA, all things basketball, even the WNBA. Those girls are fired up. The preseason is over and the regular season has commenced. We'll also talk about a little bit of the playoffs, what's going on with the last four teams remaining. So, let's get cracking. So, I debated all day if I should make this podcast, if I should really say what I'm thinking. And I thought, you know what? That's what a podcast is. That is what a podcast is. It's telling your feelings, showing up and showing out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you straight up and down. Everybody wants a superstar team. Four superstars, three MVPs. But in all honesty, what you really need is some hungry players. Some players that are ready to just break it all, something proper to get into that playoff, to get into that second, third round, that finals glory. And what do we have? We have a lot of people talking about free agency tonight. Free agency is going wild. The LeBron lottery. Will him and his son join the Pistons? Well, let's talk about that for a second. I brought this up earlier in the season with MJ. And if Bronny got selected by the Detroit Pistons, LeBron would definitely be on that roster. He doesn't care about what team he plays for. He wants to play with his son. What father wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? That's in the pros. You want to be able to build onto that legacy. And I think his son would probably get more PT if his father was on the roster. Now, think about that for a minute. Say you're a second year player. We're going to use the Detroit Pistons, okay? We're going to use Ashur Thompson, okay? And we're going to say he's healthy. He's playing the three spot right now. Bronny's going to play the point. So Cade's going to move to the second. LeBron's, of course, at the four. And, of course, whoever they have at the fifth. Whether they have uh, 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 the guys they're using now or guys they picked up in the trade. But listen, they have Bronny James taking the spot of Cade. Now, Bronny is a good passer. He has some great vision. His dad has phenomenal vision. So having those two on the court with Cade and Ashur and Duran, whoa. Think about that. Think about that fast break. Whoa. That would be sick. But did I not mention in that starting lineup? Whose growth is going to be stunted by that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, boy. Third year player. His growth is going to be stunted by that. He might start, but guess what? Ronnie James is going to come in and he's going to take up a lot of his minutes. He may not get starter minutes, but he's going to be taking a good chunk. They might be neck and neck with minutes, for real. And I mean, that's how the NBA is. If you don't show up during practice, during preseason, you may not get your minutes. And has your boy got his minutes? Yeah, he has. He has earned his minutes for real. I mean, I'm trying not to say his name because I really don't want to put that in the air that he gets stunned by Bronny James, but it could potentially happen, y'all. It's not. This is a business. This isn't friends just playing basketball. This isn't just uh uh a pickup game. This is the professional league. Okay, so there might be some stunting going on. Um, who am I talking about? Yeah, I know who I'm talking about, man. Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey could get his minutes whittle down. Now let me tell you this: if you're a Detroit Pistons fan, would you want Jaden Ivey to get his minutes studied to keep him, or would you want to trade him for LeBron James and Bronny if they got put to another team? Now let's say that LeBron James or Bronny James went to the Wizards. Okay, you can use Jaden Ivey to go get Bronny, so that you also get James. Because James isn't going to sign like he's going to wait till the very last second to to come up with his player option to go where his son is going to go. And I'm pretty sure his agent is going to be in whoever ear picks up Bronny. But what if Bronny doesn't get picked up? Then you don't really have to trade anybody. But still, somebody is going to get studded. And it's if it goes to the Detroit Pistons, it's gonna be Quentin Grimes, it's gonna be Marcus Sasser, it's gonna be Jaden Ivey. Their growth is going to be diminished. Not to mention LeBron James on the team. So I believe they'll get rid of Evan Fournier. They'll get rid of Taj Gibson. They could put Jaden Ivey and Isaiah Stewart in a trade. Let's see who else is gonna get stunned. Um, Buddy Bowling, he could potentially. I believe they're going to keep Fosieros, Simone Foncicho. I can't ever say his name. What about Sam? He could get stunned too. But who doesn't want to play with a legend, you know? So they could come in with the mentality to say, okay, look, I'm gonna put in work. I'm gonna make sure that I get the best out of this opportunity and this experience to learn from LeBron to get this team back in the winning ways because they are struggling. Like Detroit Pistons are just their lips is out the water. They drowning so hard. Just their lips is just take as much breath as you can that quick second before you go up underwater because when you come back up, you're going right back down. They are tripping. Now you can say, well, the Spurs is tripping too. They're kind of low. Yeah, the Spurs are, but they have Victor Wembanyama, and they're going to make that team bolstered with him. Will they make some moves this offseason? I believe so. I believe so. They have an opportunity with their lottery pick to pick another monster on that draft mock board. But I think for the sake of basketball, the funness of basketball, LeBron James going to the Detroit Pistons would be ideal for Bronny. And I say that because they could trade Jaden Ivey and they can trade Stewart and get some nice picks and role players for that. Keep Jalen Duran, keep Cade Cunningham, of course, keep Ashur Thompson, keep Tony Brown. Let's see, keep that one guy's name I can't mention. James Wiseman. I hope he does some good work this off season. Keep them dudes and make a package and send it off. I think they also should keep Marcus Sasser uh, for sure. I think he's an up and coming phenomenal player. He's going to be crazy. But Taj Gibson, Evan Fournier, it's a done. It's a wrap for them. That experiment is over. It's a done deal. Um, what else could I say about that situation? I don't really see. I mean, of course, Ronnie can go to a lot of teams, but a team where he can make a difference would be Detroit. Now, flip side, what if he went to the Spurs? Now, you know LeBron James is a huge Greg Popovich fan. If Phil Jackson was still on the court, LeBron would do everything he could to get on that squad as well. Will the San Antonio Spurs use their lottery pick to pick up Bronny? I don't think so. I don't think that's I don't think that'd be a good move for them, honestly. Uh, but could they get them? Yeah, I think they could get Bronny. You think you get money for the cheap, not the lottery pick, but I think they could do some willing and dealing. They got some great players on their squad. To get LeBron James over there to play with Wimbenyana, stop. Like for real, like straight up. Just think about that for a minute. LeBron James and Wimbenyana, man, it would be fun back to the NBA. The NBA is fun right now with Ant, and Halliburton, and Jamal, and Jaden, and Jason. I mean, Embiid, Maxi. These people are making this NBA fun every season and interesting every season. But man, Wimbenyana and LeBron James, how fascinating would that be? Okay, so last episode I talked about the free agents. Now I'm gonna tell you some free agents that will make a huge difference on a lot of teams. People are just looking at, the Clippers, the Miami Heat. They're looking at uh, Boston. They're seeing these teams and they're seeing them like, oh, these are bolster teams. We need to pick up this guy, that's that for me. But no, 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 no. Look at the teams that aren't winning. Look at these teams that aren't winning, like the Wizards, like the Detroit Pistons, like the San Antonio Spurs, like the Houston Rockets. They have beautiful basketball players in that squad. And some of them are up for free agency coming up. Okay? So I'm going to just go to, let's talk about, let's go to Milwaukee. Malik Beasley. He's an unrestricted free agent this year. Unrestricted. And he's a tough guy. Very tough guy. Unrestricted. Good, great role player. Can come out in the game playing, getting 40. Straight up. He's a really good player. And I think he's overlooked because he's playing with Giannis and Damian Lillard and Portis. Portis is another guy. We'll talk about that later. Another unrestricted free agent that I'm going to talk about is Miles Bridges. He went through some legal trouble. I'm not going to go into the extent of his legal trouble. That is his situation, and I'm talking basketball. I'm not talking about their personal life. I'm talking about basketball. This isn't mainstream media. I'm not going to be putting people on blast about their personal business. I might make a joke or a crack or two, but we're talking about basketball. Not personal, basketball. Miles Bridges is a phenomenal player, but he plays for the Charlotte Hornets slash Bobcats. This is where this team, for whatever reason, is where great lottery picks go to be traded. Like, look at PJ. PJ Washington right now, shining. He's shining right now, going into the Western Conference Finals. Shining. Doing fantastic in Dallas. I thought PJ Washington is a great player. I think that trade was wonderful. They also got Gafford from Washington. Wonderful, wonderful pickup. These players are the type of players that I'm talking about that are hungry, that aren't don't got this superstar tag hanging from their jersey. They're ready to play and they're ready to put in work. Miles Bridges, ready to put in work. Unrestricted free agent. Okay? Last year he was restricted, this year he is not. Okay? So let's go on to the next one I'm going to speak about is Kobe D'Anthony. Chill out. Jay Crowder. He hasn't played much. He hasn't been the same guy he used to be, but he's available. Moving on to a little more powerhouse. DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, you saying you're supposed to be looking at players that aren't all stars. I can't help it. DeMar DeRozan is an all star. and I can't help it that he is so underrated. He is ridiculously underrated. That guy should be picked up, swooped up. He's unrestricted this coming off season. Unrestricted. Moving on. Dimwitty. Spencer Dinwiddie is unrestricted right now. Going into the offseason. Unrestricted. Heck of a three-point shooter. Heck of a microwave. Like when I played 2K. The dude was microwave. Once he got hot, he was hot. Okay? Another. Andre Drummond. Yeah, he's older. But who rebounds like him? Who has that build down there in that paint like that? They could be a backup center. Who? That's what I thought. Look at what Minnesota's doing right now. They have Nazir Reed. They have Rudy Gobert. They have Cat Williams. And they play defense like old school Bulls. Like the 1989-90 Bulls. They are taking people out. They got them three big men down there. And then don't let Anderson slip through. Anderson be doing his thing too. And everybody keep talking about, oh, they're not gonna work. Cat and Rudy down there, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, man. If you still think that after watching these playoffs, then something is wrong with you. You need to recalibrate, homeboy. Another unrestricted player we're gonna talk about, Markel. Oh, okay, yeah, he had a little bit of the yips or whatever, the dips, the flips, the mips. I don't know. Something was going on with him, but he seems to be ready to get back on the court. On the right squad, I think he can do some great things. Is Magic the right squad for him? I don't know. Could be. You never know. But don't underestimate this player. He's gonna come out and he's gonna show up and show out once he gets into a good situation. Moving on. Let's talk about Javonte Green. Now, you may not hear it about Javonte Green, but he plays for Chicago. He's unrestricted. He's the type of role player that you don't really pay attention to. He's making back cuts to the rim. He's shooting corner threes when it's needed. He's not the type of player that needs a lot of the ball. He's played with a lot of people, hands on balls like DeMar and your boy Levine. He can be a great role player. Next thing you know, he'll be an all-star in your squad for sure. Next person I'm gonna talk about is Isaiah Hartenstein. Now Isaiah Hartenstein, I think after he played in these playoffs, I believe the Knicks are gonna re-sign him, and they should. Why? Because he fits their mantra. He fits that grit, grind, get up there and get that, snatch that stuff off the board. He up there doing it. He has the length for it. He has the build for it. If the New York Knicks don't pick him up, whoever does is going to have a shiny, shiny, shiny nickel on their hand for sure. Woo, shiny nickel. Next one I'm going to talk about. Let's see. There's a lot of names on here, man. A lot of names on here. People that I didn't even know was on free agency. Oh, Derrick Jones Jr. Now, is Dallas going to re-sign him? Probably. He's doing a lot in these playoffs right now. And it's a contract year, so he must. He must. But I think he got traded, what, 3 times in the last couple of years? From Miami and then from Portland. Like, he's been traveling for sure. I'm not sure why. Maybe there's something with his conditioning or what, but he's playing like a ball player in Dallas. I think they're gonna re-sign him though. Let's see. Luke Kernick. Um, I think they'll let him go. He's a big man that shoots threes, but they already have that in Porzingis. So I believe he'll be available. What team could he shine on? Any team that needs a backup center or a stretch four could benefit from a Luke pickup. I don't think he has enough defense. He's blocked some shots, but I don't think he has the footwork to be on the East Coast. The West Coast are more of shooters. The East Coast, in my opinion, are more bruise you up, get you out of here. And I don't know if Luke's cut out for that. Let's see what he does in this offseason to improve his game. Alex Lynn is another free agent this year. Um, I didn't see a lot from him in Sacramento. I think that the second year player took a lot of his minutes. Moving on, I'm gonna go right past Kyle Lowry's name. I hope that another team picks him up. I really don't want Kyle Lowry back. I'm not a huge Kyle Lowry fan. I think he is older, he's a veteran, and he can help a young team like like Portland, uh, maybe like the Wizards. I don't know, but he's an older guy that takes charges, gets his hands in there. But I don't know. It's just his game isn't what it used to be. Of course, he's older. Of course, I understand that. But he's still doing the little crazy, crazy plays that puts the team in jeopardy. Like, putting his hands. I know you got to get in those passing lanes, but you got to make better decisions. And him being as long in the NBA as he's been, he shouldn't be making these kind of mistakes. I mean, he made a lot of dumb mistakes in the first round in these playoffs, and I wouldn't really want to see him back in the Sixers jerseys for real. Let's go on. KJ Martin. KJ Martin's a tough dude. I think he's going to improve his game this offseason. I think he's going to work on his 3-point shot, maybe his mid range. I think his mid range, his dad had a killer mid range, straight up and down jumper. Because everybody thought he was going to be banging it, and he'd pull back and make that mid range. I think if he worked on a mid range shot or a uh, drive into the paint shot, I think he'd be even better. So work on that, KJ. Wesley Matthews. Wesley Matthews is a really good defender. Older guy, I think he's like in his 30s, maybe. Really good at defending. I think he should get out of Atlanta and go somewhere that really values his type of game. Atlanta's more of a shoot, alley flashy team. He needs to be in a tough nose, let's get down on our knees type of defender. Now Tyrese Maxey's on here as a restricted free agent. He ain't going nowhere. Let's move on. Let's see. D'Anthony Melton. Let's see. I named my dog Kobe D'Anthony because I love the way D'Anthony plays. I love his defense. He's injured a lot lately. He hasn't really been able to show what he can do. But his time with Philly is probably at its end. If it's not, I hope he improves his conditioning, his overall health, you know. But if not, he'll be a great asset on somebody's team that allows him to heal and uh, get the minutes he needs. Patty Mills. Patty Mills is an unrestricted free agent. Great post-up shooter. If you need somebody to come off the bench to get you a few points while you open up the squad and talk to him on the other side, he's a great asset. Shake Milton, same thing. Same, dang near same exact compliment to him. Moving on. Malik Monk. Now, quietly, I want Philly to go for Malik. Nobody's talking about Malik Monk. Nobody. Yeah, he's injured, but injuries heal. And he seems very resilient. People that pick up Malik Monk or the teams that try to go after him, wow. Depending on where he goes, um, it could be something incredible. I think he should come to Philly, um, be alongside Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, we got the 16th pick, but we don't have to trade because he's an unrestricted free agent. Now, if I'm Morey, I'm looking down this list myself, saying, okay, we could use a guy like that. We could use a guy like that. Let me make some calls. Let me do this. Let me do that. Malik Monk should be on the top of that list. I'm just putting it out there. Malik Monk, y'all. Also on this list, the Morris brothers are on this list. Um, they're on different coasts, but let's see where they go. Monte Morris. I think he's going to get re-signed by Minnesota. He's a good backup for uh, 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 dang, what's the guy's name? Jeez, the point guard of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow, wow. Connolly, Mike Connolly. He's a good backup for him. Moving on. Um, Royce O'Neal. Ooh, that's a nice little pickup right there too. Royce will definitely be on my list. He's a good uh, defender. He's lanky. He shoots threes. I think my boys Philly should go for him as well. Now, this is what I mean about fortifying your team with athletic, hungry players. Now, I'm not going to call them role players because they can shine at any time. Role players are more or less to come in and fill their role. These players can get it on. Period. 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 And I think Royce O'Neal should be on top of Morey's list. Another player that I think should be on Morey's list is Kelly Oubre Jr. I hope he stays with Philly. I really do hope that he stays with Philly. He is like a box of energy, bro. Like he, I love his gameplay, and I think he should get an extended contract. Let's say like 3, 4 years. Let him make a home there. Let him make a home there. Let him get comfortable. Let him get there, and let's build from here. This season should be the season that Daryl Morey puts players on this team that are going to grow with Maxey and Embiid. Embiid made a comment. Let's not forget his comment he made. He said that other teams have built their teams to last, built their teams to play together for years to come. Every single season, he has new players to get used to, new players, dynamic. He's not getting in a rhythm in one season. It takes you a minute to get to know a player's tendencies. Yeah, you could probably see them and make plays, and the coach about jobs and stuff. But I get what he's saying. Honestly, I get what he's saying, and I find it to be true. I think Kelly Oubre Jr. should be one of those fixtures for real. Tyrese, Embiid, Kelly, straight up. I also want to say Pretty Ricky. He should be one of those building blocks as well. Everybody else, I mean, I see you when I see you. Moving on. Cameron Payne. Should Philly get back Cameron Payne? I like Cameron. I like his toughness, and yeah, I think he'd be a good asset to keep on our squad. Moving on. Let's see. Mason Plumlee. I mean, he's a journeyman. Um, because he doesn't really have a lot of outside defense. A lot of big men in our league now are shooting from the three or the mid range, and he doesn't have the defensive footwork for that. Moving on. Torian Prince. Uh, I think he went to the right team, he'd be great. He was injured, so he didn't get a lot of PT with the Lakers, but given an opportunity, I bet you he'd show up and show out. I'm passing up two-way players, by the way. Um, Luka Samika. Samanica? I don't know too much about him. So we're moving on. Um, Dario Saric. No, not really any good defense. He doesn't shoot the three as often as he should be shooting the three. Moving on. Pascal Siakam. Now, this is going to be a short comment. Indiana's going to sign him to a huge deal. Moving on. Dennis Smith Jr. Oh boy. Honestly, I think Dennis should go back to playing for the Knicks. Honestly. Moving on. Moving on. We have Lamar Stevens. Um, he's 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 okay. He had his moments. I think because Ja wasn't on the squad, I didn't watch a lot of the games, so we're moving on. Um, Garrett Temple, nice shooter. Um, he has some good defense. I like him. I like him. I think he's a good, hungry player. Daniel Thies, moving on. Isaiah Thomas, I love you, bro. Moving on. Clay, half of the Splash Brother Thompson. Now, you might be saying, oh, you could probably want him from Philly. No, I wouldn't mind him being on there, but I'm not going to plead for that. I think Clay Thompson lacks defense, and he's more of a open stand-up shooter. In his earlier years, he used to be a step back shooter and a drive and dribble shooter, but now that's long faded away. Um, Moving on. Let's see. Zaire Tillman. Moving on. Gary Trent Jr. Now, I like Gary Trent Jr. He's a good, rugged um, defender. I like him. And he shoots the heck out of a three. He is hot. Boy, stop. Run you out the court. Shoot the lights out. He should get picked up to be on somebody's starting lineup for sure. Giannis Valanciunas. Jonas Valanciunas. Valanciunas. He has been wasting away in New Orleans. Wasting away. Wasting away. Now, should he be a starter? Yeah. Could he be a backup? He could. He absolutely could. But does he have the humility to do so? We'll see. Next. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about this next player. He's an unrestricted free agent, and he shoots the lights out. He could lead a team. I think him alongside Tyrese Maxey would be crazy. I know I said that about a Malik Monk, but you gotta have a list. You gotta have a list of players to say, okay, this is my list. This is who I'm picking to be my top priority. If he's taken, I got another player that can fit his shoes. If he's taken, I got another player that can fit those shoes. And I think Lonnie Walker IV should be on that list of Daryl Morey. Don't lose sleep, Daryl Morey, trying to work out some stuff to get these players. Lose sleep. Like for sure. Once these finals are over, I need you to lose sleep. Moving on. Ooh, Lonnie Walker. Boy, I can't believe he's an unrestricted free agent. Woo. Okay. Thaddeus Young, Cody Zeller, and DeLon Wright. All unrestricted free agents. All are aging. Um, you gotta get in where you fit in. Find the best team that's gonna fit for you, and have your agent pursue that. Players know where they would be good at. Players know. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that players are just out there shutting up and dribbling, because they're definitely not. They are out there scoping and scanning for the teams, especially when they're unrestricted. Nobody wants to get not get a contract. You know what I mean? Nobody just wants to not be on a team. I mean, you let that go by, you'd be a mind Shumpert in a minute. No shade, just saying. So should um should they go after what they want? Yeah, of course. They'll do that. And try to get out there and do whatever you need to do to shine, to practice. So that coach knows this is where he wants to be. He's playing phenomenal. He's doing everything we need him to do. Do that, and great things will happen. So that's my spiel on the free agent market. Yet again, I told you who I liked, but I haven't told you who I really think they should trade for. That's going to be on a whole nother episode, people. That is going to blow your mind once I talk about that. Um, the playoffs. My gosh, if Ant has not, I think he tripled his fan base for real in these playoffs. That team is crazy good, crazy good. To blow the champions out 2 games and their own court to begin the series told you all you needed to know. Yeah, they fought back. Yeah, Jokic was like, this ain't finna go down like this. But it did. It did. I mean, Anthony Edwards hasn't even been in the league that long, and he is doing grown man veteran basketball things. He knew that they were triple teaming, double teaming him, and he was make sure he was finding his players. Get open. He talking to them, bro. I need you to do this. Cut this way. Do this. He was doing the dang thing. And then Halliburton put that team on his back and carried them into the Eastern Conference Finals. Took out the Knickerbockers. Oh, you have no idea how much I celebrated. I was so excited to see that team go down. They did some dirty stuff in the first round against Philly. And I hold grudges about stuff like that. I'll get over it once the season begins. Maybe. But right now, go fish, go snorkel, go golfing, whatever it is you need to do. Because your fan base will celebrate me way too hard. Where's y'all banner? Where's y'all ring? Where's y'all trophy? You didn't even win the Eastern Conference trophy. You didn't even win the Atlantic Division trophy. But your fan base was cheering y'all like y'all just won the pennant, like you won the NBA Finals, like you won the WNBA Finals, like you won the NHL Stanley Cup. They was burning jerseys in the first round? Oh my god. That's why the Lakers or the Knicks go down the way they go down. Their fan base kills them. And then to show up at the Wells Fargo Arena and cuss out the MVP. Wow, man, so disrespectful. You're not ever gonna get past the second round. And I know you can say that about Philly, but we're not doing the stuff that y'all doing. We're not celebrating and knocking down poles and burning jerseys because we lost the game or we won the game. Y'all did that after game one. That's crazy. Like y'all want to win so bad, but that's what you do, man. That's what y'all get. That's what y'all. A team like the Indiana Pacers put y'all on y'all back like Reggie Miller did. Boom. Sit down. Eat this porridge. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And shout out to the Indiana Pacers. Um, my hometown team. I'm a Sixers fan, but shout out to the Indiana Pacers. They're doing their thing. Um, what I got to say about that, is Tyrese Halliburton has that team working very, very, very hard on defense. TJ McCollum, oh my gosh, that guy, he's like a Energizer bunny. That dude gets a bone and he wants to chew it up. Like you're not gonna get this from me. You're not gonna get past me the way you think you're gonna get past me. And if you do get past me, my homeboy's gonna get up and block your stuff out the court. Like the Indiana playing crazy good. Shout out to them. The Dallas Mavericks. Whoa, I did not see the Oklahoma City Thunder losing in 6 games. I didn't see it. I really didn't. Um, but they did. They lost, and they're young, and they're gonna feel this hurt in their chest. They were the number one squad in the West, and they lost. And it is what it is. SGA will come back stronger. Chet, his second full year coming back, or this is his first full year, but his second year coming in, he's going to be stronger. They're going to be more determined. Jalen's going to be stronger. Both Jalen, both Williams, but boys, they're going to be stronger. And this team is going to, they're going to take on a whole nother definition to the word get back. For real. They're gonna make sure every time they meet up with Dallas, the Dallas feels them for sure. And it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be really fun to watch. Because they were up like 18, I think. 18 at one point, and then they just kept turning the ball over. I think they got too relaxed. They started to think, we got a great lead, let's just milk the clock. You can't milk the clock with 8 minutes to go. You can't do that. But that's youth. You know, who's the veteran on our team to tell them, hey, let's lock it in? No, they didn't have that. So where the chips fell. Um, uh, the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. I don't know what I think about this series. I really don't. I think that I think with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown at the 1 and the 2 instead of the 2 and the 3, it gives Indiana pause. It gives them a different way they got to play because Jason Tatum is long, he's tall, he's very aggressive on defense mostly, and Brown is always looking to block somebody's stuff. Always ready to stuff somebody's stuff. Even if he's taking a foul, he's always ready to stuff somebody's stuff. And Porzingis might be back, so Turner's gonna have his hands full for sure. I really wish that their second-year player was doing better. I think his name is Jalen too. A lot of Jalen's. I remember. Was it last year, the year before? There was a lot of Jalen's being drafted. I think it was when Jalen Green got drafted. There's a lot of Jalen's. But anyway, I think who's gonna win the finals? I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win the East. Okay. No. Never mind. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win the West. I think the Timberwolves are gonna win the West. The reason why I say that is because who's gonna guard Karl Anthony Towns? If Gafford is guarding him, who's gonna guard Rudy Gobert? If Rudy Gobert gets fouled out because he's, they call him tic-tac fouls for Luka, then who's gonna guard Nazir Reed on the three in the corner? Who? Who is going to guard Edwards? Nobody. You think Luka is going to guard Edwards? My gosh. You think Kyrie is going to guard Anthony Edwards? He is going to love trying to cook them. He's going to get his pockets though, and it's going to change his mentality. He is the only player that I've seen besides Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson and Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis that can in the game switch their levels, and it's noticeable. Kobe Bryant as well, my bad. Kobe Bryant. They could switch their games. Like they could be playing and shooting threes, and next thing somebody's starting to block their stuff. They switch it up, start driving to the hoop. Like he's that kind of player. Like he sees what you putting on him, he's gonna switch it up. It's like like a thing on what's that thing called? A kaleidoscope. You looking at him one way, next thing you know, he turning those dials, and you gotta see him a different way because he is moving and scooting. Don't let him run into you because he's strong. You're gonna see stars for real in that kaleidoscope. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, I think that the Timberwolves are gonna beat the Dallas Mavericks, and they're probably gonna beat them in 5. If the refs do not dictate this game, the Timberwolves will take them in 5. And that's because the Timberwolves play a whole different kind of defense. And there's no way to prepare for this kind of defense. It's a swarming defense. And I don't think Dallas is built for it. I don't think they're built for it, for real. It's going to be up to PJ and Gafford. Gafford to get those offensive rebounds, and PJ to get those screen and pops, for real. It ain't gonna be Kyrie and Luka like y'all think. They're gonna get their money, but it's really gonna be those other players on the court that are really gonna need them to shine. They are gonna have to shine. Just like I said in the last thing, if Michael Porter Jr. does not have a 30-point game, they will not win the series. I said that. I had the receipts. Michael Porter Jr. did not show up because they locked him up. They said, okay, Luka, not Luka, Jamal, we got you. It's going to have to take Jokic to beat us. And Jokic couldn't do it by himself. He played dang near every minute of Game 6, and they still couldn't do it. They still couldn't do it. Could not do it. So, yeah, Minnesota in 5. Minnesota in 5. I think they're going to take probably the first or the second game. And then they're going to get home, and they're going to get on a rampage. Edwards sees the trophy in his midst. It might be the Western Conference trophy, but he sees a trophy in his future. You can't show a player something that good and tasty and not think that they're gonna do everything they can, go through brick walls to get that money. That's what they play for. They got the money. The contract is already signed. They got the money. They're not playing for the money. They're playing for that glory, that legendary status. That's what they're playing for. Who's going to win the East Coast? I'm going to hold that back for the next episode. That's all I got to say about that, guys. Take it easy. And I'll see you on the next episode. Opinion easy. Tell your friends about it.